Look at the weather.
It's beautiful here.
Non-stop rain.
Oh, man, it is a blazer out there.
It's cold and it's shivery.
It is cold.
It's really coming down here.
I really enjoy your weather reports.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, we're talking weather in a whole new way. From historical events to what's coming up, plus weather news, science, safety, fun facts, and more.
I like where this is going.
This is Weather Weekly. Weather Weekly with Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey.
Episode 150 of Weather Weekly. Good to be with you here. Meteorologist Marcus Bailey from Wish TV in Indianapolis, coming off our first full weekend of November. And the time change, too. With a fallback, end of daylight savings time. We're back to standard time. Hopefully you got or enjoyed an extra hour of sleep. I'll tell you what, pretty good forecast here if you are a fan of some milder temperatures. We got near record highs, I think, for the next several days for much of this week. We do have a cool down, but it's not extreme. So good looking forecast. Rain chances fairly limited too. We'll talk about it in the week ahead for November 6th, 2023. That's coming up next year on Weather Weekly. It is episode 150 of Weather Weekly. Good to be with you here. The week ahead forecast for November 6th, 2023. Got some good stuff ahead for you here. I'm going to talk about maybe some near record temperatures potentially on the way here for this week. We're talking well above average temperatures here. So we're going to be in good stuff here. I'm kind of sifting through and going to look at some of these daily records for the month of November. All right, so let's get going here. We'll start with the 6th, Monday. Pretty mild day here. We're going to go with a partly cloudy sky. I've got highs around 70. There is a little bit of a hang up because we've got high pressure down to the south and east. We got low pressure to the north and west. And we got what we call a tight gradient. And so I do think that's going to kind of bring some windy conditions. It's going to be a warm wind, but some windy conditions across the area here for your Monday. Like I said, a high of 70, but I think gusts could reach anywhere between 30, maybe even a high as 40 miles per hour. The record, by the way, for the 6th is 77. That was set back in 1975. Overnight lows into the lower 50s. We'll go with partly cloudy conditions. Wind should dial back quite a bit for Monday night. Heading into Tuesday the 7th, again, partly cloudy skies. I think it's going to be just a shade cooler. There might be an isolated, very, very isolated sprinkled chance very late Tuesday night on the 7th. Tuesday's record high is 76, which I think is safe. I'm going to go with a high of 67 on Tuesday afternoon. Overnight lows again, low to mid 50s Tuesday night. Wednesday the 8th will be the warmest day in this 8-day forecast that we have for you here. And again, relatively dry winds, not a big issue. Record high for the 8th is 79. That was set back in 2020, so just a few years ago. I'm going with a high of 73, so if that forecast hold, the record is safe. And again, we do have a chance for some showers Wednesday evening. This is going to be a cold front that's going to kind of drag through the state on Wednesday. Overnight lows into the lower 50s. Thursday, then, we'll have a chance of showers. I think the best chance right now looks to be in the southern portions of the state. Again, just very, very isolated. Nothing significant for Thursday night. It is going to be cooler, but still above average temperatures. Thursday's high around 60. Overnight lows Thursday night into the lower 40s. And then we're kind of like back to reality a little bit, end of the week and into the weekend. It's cooler, much cooler than what we're going to have here for the first half of the week. But, closer to average, so it's not too bad. Friday the 10th, we do have a brief shower early in the morning chance. And again, that's going to be quite isolated. The rest of the day, partly to mostly cloudy. Friday's high around 53. We'll likely see overnight lows Friday night dipping down back to the mid-30s. Weekend looks cool, but quiet. Saturday is Veterans Day. Should be relatively decent. Wind's not a big issue. It is going to be cool if you're heading to any Veterans Day ceremonies or festivities on the 11th. Saturday's high around 52, overnight lows near freezing. Sunday the 12th, kind of the same thing. Partly cloudy and cool, highs in the mid-50s and overnight lows into the mid-30s. And Monday the 13th, partly cloudy, quiet, and again, seasonably cool. We'll finish with highs into the mid-50s. In terms of total rainfall, estimated over the next 7 days, potentially up to 1/4 inch of rain. I think that's being quite generous around the Indy metro area. That would mean we'd have to probably get at least a little bit of rain each and every day. I mentioned there's chances, and I don't know if that's going to be the case. I think there's going to be a lot of dry time. If you got to get stuff done outside this week, should be quite nice to do so. I'm going to do a quick look back at the month of October with the climate summary. And then, of course, we'll have that 8 to 14 day outlook as well. That's coming up next on Weather Weekly. All right, here we go with the, before we get to the 8 to 14 day outlook, I did, since this is the first podcast, this is technically, it is the first podcast for the month of November. Lost track of my dates there for a second. Did want to take a look real quick at the climate summary for October. There wasn't anything too significant. We're kind of middle of the road on both temperatures and precip. We are the 42nd warmest October on record in Indianapolis and the 75th driest October on record in Indianapolis. So again, there was nothing really significant or special about the weather for October. No crazy records or anything like that, both on the temp and precip front. 8 to 14 day outlook. So, we talked about how, warm, especially early on this week through at least Wednesday is going to be. We do have this cool down Friday through Monday, but I tell you, gang, the long-term pattern still looks extremely mild. Going on probably beyond Monday of next week. 8 to 14 day outlook. So this would be for the dates of the 13th through the 19th, an extremely strong signal for above average temperatures. Near normal precipitation, so nothing significant there. The 3 to 4 week outlook, there's no real strong signals above or below for temps and precip. And then the 1 month outlook, this would be for the month of November. This came out on the 31st. Again, kind of the same thing. No strong signals either way for temperatures. However, there's a pretty strong signal for below average precipitation for the month of November. So we'll keep an eye on that. Just point of reference, for the month of November, we usually average around 3.45 inches of rainfall. Ironically, it's the wettest month that we have in the fall. If you're counting September and October, it's the wetter of the three. We also average just shy of an inch of snowfall. 0.8 is our snowfall average. Again, those go that's the climate average between 1991 and 2020. So something to keep an eye on. The good news is if you're not ready for it, no signs of snow in the forecast. In fact, we've got a lot of mild days ahead. So something to look forward to. Thank you so much for joining us here on this week's podcast. You can always catch your forecast anytime, 24 hours a day for free with our Storm Track 8 weather app. And of course at wishtv.com/weather. You can also catch my forecast on the TV side Monday through Friday, starting at 4 a.m. on Wish TV's Daybreak as well. And we'd always love to hear your feedback. You can shoot me an email anytime, marcus.bailey@wishtv.com. Also on the socials, Facebook, Marcus Bailey Weather is what you search for, X and Instagram @Marcus Bailey. Thanks for joining us here on this week's podcast. While you're here, make sure to tune in to all of the other great podcasts, all part of the All Indiana Podcast Network. Have a wonderful week. We'll talk to you soon. God bless.
Discover more from Storm Track 8 Weather and Wish TV. Online at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Plus, be sure to check out more great podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.